So, remember when calculators first appeared in school?
Oh, yeah, that huge debate.
Exactly. Like, would they make us dumber, erode our basic math skills?
Right.
Well, fast forward, and here we are again, standing at like the edge of another big shift in
It's
education.
time with generative AI.
Right. And just like calculators, AI is kicking up these really vital questions about critical thinking, about creativity.
Sure is.
But what if? What if generative AI isn't just another tool? What if it's more like a powerful partner for thinking?
Teleport.
A way to cut through all the noise, the information overload, and actually get you properly well-informed with insights that, stick.
Right.
Today, that's what we're diving deep into, how you can actually harness that power in your own learning journey.
And this isn't just about, passively listening.
No.
Think of this deep dive more like your interactive guide, kind of a roadmap for this new landscape.
Right.
Because our research, it consistently shows that making AI work well in education really thrives on collaboration.
Collaboration how?
Well, between students working together, parents getting involved with their kids learning, teachers guiding things,
Oh, okay.
that collective approach, that's really the foundation.
Yeah.
It builds shared understanding, brings in different viewpoints, and helps navigate the tricky ethical stuff too.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Because when most people think AI in education, they might picture what? Adaptive learning, like Newton Alta or Thinkster Math.
Or those intelligent tutoring systems like Carnegie Learning's Mathia.
Yeah, and those are brilliant. Don't get me wrong. They're like smart tutors working through an existing textbook, right? Giving you more fraction problems if you're stuck.
Reacting to your progress.
Exactly. But generative AI, well, that's different. It feels like a quantum leap.
It really is.
It doesn't just adapt or analyze based on existing stuff. Its unique power is that it can create totally new content.
On the fly, just for you. That's the key. And what really stood out from our research wasn't just personalization in the usual sense. It was its ability to make learning emotionally responsive.
Emotionally responsive. How so?
Well, one fascinating report showed AI platforms detecting when a student was getting frustrated,
Okay.
and instead of pushing harder on complex problems, it could pivot,
Hmm.
switch to more foundational stuff, things to build confidence back up,
Wow. So it's moving beyond just what you learned.
to how you feel while you're learning it. Imagine, like you said, generating math problems using basketball stats for a kid who normally hates fractions.
A completely custom experience.
Right. Or those writing tools like Quill or Noradink. They don't just fix grammar. They could be your brainstorming buddy, help structure essays, refine your style, like having a writing coach.
That point about emotionally responsive learning, that feels like a real game changer.
It is.
It reminds me of that story about Michael's daughter, the source material.
Oh, yeah, using GPT-4o for creative writing.
Right. She wasn't using it to write the story for her. It was like a dynamic brainstorming partner.
Giving her prompts, character ideas.
Plot twists, yeah.
Yeah.
And her job was to pick, tweak, reject. It actually honed her critical thinking because she had to really evaluate why some AI ideas worked and others just didn't.
Exactly. It's a world away from AI writes it for you.
Yeah.
It's more like a thought amplifier.
Yeah, I like that. Thought amplifier.
And the research backs this up. The benefits are clear. Personalization, yes, but also immediate feedback. Being available 204/7, more engagement.
Data insights for teachers, too.
Huge data insights, yeah. And better accessibility for students with disabilities, that's a massive win.
Okay, that sounds amazing.
But, and it's a big but, we have to be really vigilant. These huge promises come with real challenges.
Like what? What are the big ones?
Well, the sources really highlight the digital divide. Just unequal access to the tech in the first place.
Still a major issue.
Absolutely. Then there are big privacy concerns around student data. The risk of kids becoming over-reliant on AI, maybe hindering their own independent thinking.
Right, just asking the AI instead of figuring it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, making sure the AI's output is actually good quality, reliable, because we know it can still make mistakes or show biases.
Okay, those benefits are compelling, but the challenges sound pretty serious, too. From your look at the sources, what's the most immediate, like the biggest hurdle schools are facing right now trying to bring this in without falling into those traps?
Often it really boils down to the human element,
Yeah.
that anxiety teachers and parents feel.
Anxiety about what?
About losing that spark of individual thought, that sense of, genuine authorship in student work.
Ah, okay. Which brings us straight to the ethics, doesn't it?
Straight into navigating the ethical tightropes.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where it gets really complex, but also so important.
Like that scenario with Alex's essay.
Exactly. The high school kid uses an AI writing assistant. The teacher, Mr. Thompson, reads it and just knows. It doesn't sound like Alex.
It wasn't necessarily about catching cheating, though.
No, not primarily.
Yeah.
It was more about that sudden shift in voice, in style. It flags something's different. It's not about shaming kids. It's about having a clear, supportive, ethical framework.
And you mentioned parents earlier.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Parental involvement in setting that framework, understanding the tools, it's critical for actually empowering students, not just restricting them.
Okay, so how do we do that? How do we give students, parents, teachers, practical guidelines, ones that make sense for different ages and feel helpful, not just like a list of rules?
Right. What really needs to start early. For the younger kids, say grades 3 to 5, ages 8 to 11,
Right.
you introduce AI as a helpful tool, like a calculator for ideas. The focus is on asking for help when you need it. Basic digital citizenship, being safe and kind online, and understanding that even if an AI helps you get an idea, you still need to give credit. It's an idea helper, not an idea taker.
Makes sense. And for middle school, grades 6 to 8.
Ages 11 to 14, yeah.
Okay.
That's when you can start getting into slightly more complex things, like what's your digital footprint?
Okay, explain that.
It's basically the trail of data you leave online. You know, every search, click, post, AI systems use this data. So understanding that trail exists and why things like strong passwords and checking privacy settings are really non-negotiable, that's key for data privacy.
And bias. You mentioned bias earlier.
Yes. Discussing how AI can sometimes reflect human biases. Why you always need to think critically about the information AI gives you, not just accept it.
Got it. And then high school, grades 9, 12.
Ages 14 to 18. Here, the discussions can get much more sophisticated. They can really grapple with bigger societal questions.
Like AI's impact on jobs.
Exactly. Future jobs, broader privacy issues, algorithmic bias, encouraging them to really analyze AI content. Look for inaccuracies, look for subtle biases, challenge it. Don't just consume it.
So going back to Alex's essay, how do you use that kind of scenario constructively?
You use it to talk about AI as a tool for, say, inspiration, brainstorming, getting unstuck, but not as a replacement for doing your own thinking or solving problems yourself.
Especially for things like math homework, right, where the process matters.
Precisely. The process of working through the problem is often the whole point of the learning, not just getting the final answer spat out.
How do you make the bias thing practical, not just abstract?
You could do a simple exercise. Ask an AI tool to generate images of, say, scientists or doctors.
Okay.
Then look at the results together. Who's represented? Who seems to be missing? Why might that be? It's a really powerful visual way to show how AI might, even unintentionally, shape our perceptions.
That's a great idea.
Ultimately, it's about balance. Balancing AI use with independent work, setting clear boundaries, and always emphasizing the learning process, the journey, not just the final product.
Right. So we've got the power, the potential pitfalls, the ethics. Understanding all that is crucial. But what if the key to handling a lot of this and really unlocking AI's potential is actually in how we talk to the AI? Ah, the prompts.
Exactly. It reminds me of Jamal's question in the source. How do we make sure the AI gives us good information? The answer, Jamal, is prompts.
Right.
That's where the real magic happens.
Absolutely. If we connect this back, crafting effective prompts, it really is both an art and a science.
Okay, break that down. What makes a good prompt?
Our sources suggest thinking about 4 key parts. First, the input, that's your actual question or instruction. Make it clear.
Right.
Second, context. Things like the grade level you're aiming for, the subject, maybe a specific viewpoint you want it to take.
Got it. Context is king.
Third, the format. Do you want a list, a paragraph, step-by-step instructions, tell the AI how to structure the answer.
Okay.
And finally, constraints. Maybe a word count, a certain tone, formal, informal, or specific examples it should or shouldn't use.
And being specific really matters, doesn't it?
Hugely. That's where the magic kicks in. If you just vaguely ask, tell me about the water cycle.
You'll get something generic, probably pretty dry. Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you specify, explain the water cycle in simple terms for a 4th grade science class. Include the main stages, how water changes form, why it's important. Give me a simple example.
Then you get something tailored, focused, actually useful for that 4th grader.
Precisely. You get what you actually need.
And it's not always perfect the first time.
Oh, definitely not. It's an iterative process. Think of it like refining a search query or even a scientific hypothesis.
How so?
You start with your first prompt. You look at what the AI gives back, analyze it, what's good, what's missing, what's unclear.
Okay.
Then you revise your prompt based on that analysis, make it clearer, add more context, change the constraints. Then you try again.
Like that photosynthesis example.
Perfect example. I remember struggling with that in 7th grade myself. It felt so complex.
Yeah, me too. Chlorophyll and all that.
Right.
Right.
An initial prompt might give you a super technical, jargon-filled explanation.
Not helpful for a seventh grader.
Not at all. But by iterating, refining the prompt, you can guide the AI to produce, say, a full lesson plan. Something age-appropriate for 7th graders, with clear definitions, maybe explaining the ingredients like a recipe.
An analogy, maybe?
Yeah, an everyday analogy, perhaps a suggestion for a simple hands-on experiment, even some check for understanding questions. It becomes a conversation with the AI, refining your request until it serves up exactly the explanation you need.
That iterative process, that back and forth, that's what makes it feel like actual collaboration.
Exactly. Not just pushing a button on a vending machine.
Okay, so we get the magic of prompts. Now let's talk toolkit. What are some of the main generative AI tools people can actually use right now?
Yeah, let's get practical.
We're talking about the big names, right? ChatGPT, Claude, Google's Gemini AI. Think of them as your new tireless study buddies.
Good way to put it. And they each have slightly different strengths.
Okay, let's start with ChatGPT. What's its forte?
ChatGPT generally excels at generating really detailed, coherent text. It's fantastic for explaining concepts, summarizing long documents, even drafting different kinds of writing.
So back to the water cycle for that fourth grader.
Right. With ChatGPT, you'd structure the prompt for simplicity, maybe ask it to include questions for the student to check comprehension, suggest follow-up activities. Its response would likely be very clear, well-structured, maybe even a bit interactive.
Okay. And Claude, what's his personality?
Claude is often highlighted for its strong conversational abilities, and interestingly, its focus on safety and ethics in its design. It's particularly good for things like role-playing.
Role-playing. How would that work for learning?
Well, imagine that fourth grader again. Instead of just reading about Amelia Earhart, they could use Claude to conduct a role-play interview with Amelia Earhart.
Whoa.
The prompt would set the scene. I'm a fourth grader, learning about historical figures. You are Amelia Earhart. I'll ask questions, please answer in character. It makes history come alive, turns it into a dialogue.
That sounds incredibly engaging. Okay, and Google's Gemini AI.
Gemini's big standout feature is often its multimodality. It integrates really well with Google's ecosystem and is particularly strong with visuals understanding images, generating them, connecting text and visuals.
So good for visual learners.
Especially good. Our sources showed it explaining fractions to a fourth grader, not just with text, but by generating images of pizza slices or rectangles divided up or circles.
Making the abstract concrete.
Exactly. Gemini can literally show you why 1/2 is the same as 2/4. That visual aha moment can be incredibly powerful for understanding abstract concepts.
Makes sense. But across all these tools, the core advice is the same.
Pretty much. Remember the basics. Use AI as a starting point, a collaborator, not a crutch. Combine it with traditional study methods. Craft specific prompts. And don't be afraid to iterate, to refine your request until you get what you need. Critical thinking is always key.
Okay, so we've talked text, explanation, even role-playing. But what about creativity? This is where I think there's a real aha moment waiting for people. Generative AI isn't just for essays or math problems.
Not at all.
You can use it for art, for graphics, even for making videos. It's like having a little digital art studio.
That raises a really interesting question, though. How do we use that creative power well, responsibly?
Good point. So what tools are we talking about here?
Tools like Midjourney, DALL-E. These can take text descriptions, your prompts, and turn them into pretty stunning images and visuals.
Okay, give us some age-specific examples, like for younger kids, grades 3-5.
For them, it could be pure imagination fuel. Use DALL-E to create imaginative creatures. Prompt example. Create a friendly creature with the body of a lion, wings of an eagle, and a unicorn's horn, playing happily in a colorful meadow.
Fun, sparks storytelling too, I bet.
Totally. For middle schoolers, grades 6-8, maybe something linking to curriculum, generate historical figure portraits, but in different art styles.
Oh, cool.
Like, generate a portrait of Leonardo da Vinci, but paint it in the style of a Renaissance oil painting, or maybe Van Gogh. It blends history, art history, and creative exploration.
I love that. And for high schoolers, grades 9-12.
They could tackle more complex themes, create social commentary art.
Like what?
Maybe prompt an AI to create a powerful image showing the impact of plastic pollution on ocean life, but rendered in, say, a surrealist style like DALL-E.
Wow. That's not just making a picture. That's using AI for communication. for expressing a point of view.
Exactly. It's a tool for critical expression. And then you can take these AI-generated images, combine them perhaps with simple video editing tools, and create short educational films, bring concepts to life visually.
Okay, looking ahead now, it feels clear AI isn't just a temporary fad in education.
Definitely not.
And you, the listener, whether you're a student, a parent, an educator, you're not just watching this happen, you're actually part of shaping how this unfolds. You're the ones who wield these tools.
Absolutely. And looking at that bigger picture, our research points to some really exciting emerging trends. We're seeing AI becoming much more mainstream across all levels of education.
Meaning more personalized learning.
Increasingly personalized, yeah. Journeys that can adapt not just to your knowledge gaps, but maybe even to your emotional state, your preferred way of learning.
And for teachers.
Hopefully enhanced support. AI handling more of the routine administrative tasks.
Freeing them up for the human stuff.
Exactly. More mentoring, more inspiration, more facilitation. We're also seeing a bigger push towards skill-centric education, using AI insights to better align what's taught with what the future job market actually needs.
And things like VR and AR.
Integration with immersive tech, yes. Yeah. Imagine VR field trips enhanced by AI guides or complex science experiments simulated with AI feedback. Makes learning way more experiential.
The potential long-term benefits sound huge, like truly personalized education finally available to everyone.
That's the dream. Democratizing high-quality education, bridging some of those geographic and socioeconomic gaps we talked about.
Plus, maybe catching learning difficulties earlier.
Big potential there, yes.
Right.
Early identification and intervention, which could dramatically improve outcomes for many students. And like we said, fundamentally shifting the teacher's role towards being more of a mentor and guide.
Okay, but we always come back to the challenges.
Right.
Right? The responsibilities.
We have to. These huge potentials come with equally significant challenges we must address proactively.
Like the digital divide. Still there.
Still a crucial concern. Ensuring equitable access is paramount. Privacy and data security absolutely critical. We need robust systems, clear policies, constant vigilance.
And bias.
Addressing AI bias and ensuring fairness is an ongoing battle. We have to make sure these systems serve all students equitably, not reinforce existing inequality.
And not losing the human touch.
That's non-negotiable. Maintaining the essential human element, the empathy, the inspiration, the critical debate, the mentorship that has to remain central, plus just the sheer speed of change requires constant adaptation from everyone. And the ethics of AI development itself is a complex, evolving field.
So how do we prepare students for this? How do we empower them to thrive?
It's about fostering a whole suite of skills.
Hmm.
AI literacy, understanding how it works, critical thinking, questioning its outputs, information literacy, evaluating sources, but also, crucially, emotional and social skills, creativity, entrepreneurial thinking, ethics education.
And a growth mindset. Being willing to keep learning.
Absolutely. A lifelong growth mindset is key. This isn't just about teaching them to use AI, it's about preparing them to actively shape its future, ethically and thoughtfully, keeping human ingenuity right at the heart of it all.
Wow, what an incredible journey we've been on today. We've gone from understanding the practical tools, the AI assistants, navigating those tricky ethical waters, to exploring these really cool creative uses, and even looking into the future of learning itself.
Just a lot to take in.
It really is. But the core message seems clear. AI is this incredibly powerful tool, but it's designed to augment us, right? To boost our human abilities, our learning, not replace us.
It amplifies potential, helps us learn faster, create more, maybe even think more deeply if we use it right.
Yeah.
Which really brings us to a final, maybe provocative thought for you, the listener, to mull over.
Okay, leave us with something to think about.
How will you, as that informed student, parent, or educator, how will you leverage AI, not just to consume information, but to actively participate, to help shape a society that's more knowledgeable, more skilled, but also more ethically grounded? And maybe most importantly, how do we ensure that invaluable human element, our unique creativity, our empathy, our critical spirit, how do we make sure that stays vibrantly at the heart of learning and growth, even as this amazing technology keeps advancing?